Space was quiet. Too quiet. Captain Drell sat in the command chair of the Galactic Union patrol ship Velox. He had served in deep space for over 30 years. He had seen pirate ships, black holes, secret bases, even the aftermath of the Varnak uprising, but he had never seen this. "Commander!" A voice came from the front, breaking the silence. "We're getting something. A signal." "What kind of signal?" Drell asked. His voice was calm, but his eyes sharpened. The comms officer, a young alien named Tyrax, looked confused. "It's human, old Earth pattern. But it's not in any of our databases." The crew stared. That wasn't possible. Every human ship, every probe, every beacon was registered, tracked, controlled. "Where is it coming from?" Drell asked. "Edge of Sector 7R. Near the dead zone," Tyrax replied. "The dead zone?" The science officer, Ilren, frowned. "That's a no-fly area. No ship has gone there in 100 years. Set course," Drell said. "Let's see what's sending that signal." For minutes later, the Velox approached the edge of the dead zone. The signal grew louder, like a ghost calling from the void. Tyrax turned in his chair. "Captain, it's repeating now. Just one sentence. In Old Earth language." "What does it say?" Tyrax swallowed hard. "We are not lost. We are watching." The bridge went cold. "That's a threat," said Ilren. "Or a warning." "Either way," Drell said, standing up. "I want visuals. Now." The screen came alive, and there it was. A ship, black, silent, floating just outside the edge of the sector. It didn't match any design in the database. No flag, no ID, no lights. But it looked human and old. Too old. Inside the Velox. "Try to hail it," Drell ordered. Tyrax sent the signal. No reply, again. Nothing. Then the lights on the Velox flickered. Just for a second. "Power dip," said the engineer. "No reason. Everything's stable." "Something is wrong here," said Ilren. "We shouldn't be near that thing." Drell leaned forward. "Scan the ship. Life signs? Weapons?" The science team scanned, but what they found made no sense. No power signature, but also no damage. "It's like it's sleeping or pretending," Tyrax whispered. Then, without warning, the unknown ship moved, fast. 1 second it was still. The next, it was flying toward them. "Shields up!" Drell shouted. Too late. The black ship flew past them, so close it almost touched their hull, then vanished into the dark. No warp signature. No trail. Gone. Aftermath. "What just happened?" Ilren gasped. Tyrax checked the logs. "It didn't show on sensors. It never showed. Like, it wasn't real." "But we all saw it," said Drell. "We felt it. That ship was there." "Sir," Tyrax said slowly, "there's something else. The signal is gone, but now there's a code in our system." "What kind of code?" "Encrypted. Very old. Looks like it's from Earth's Black Star project." The bridge fell silent again. Everyone had heard of Black Star. A human military experiment. A fleet built in secret. Ships that vanished during the Great Betrayal War. Officially, it was a myth. "Open the file," Drell ordered. Tyrax hesitated. "Captain, if this is real, it means Earth was hiding something big, something they never wanted anyone to find." "Open it." Tyrax tapped the console. The file unlocked. A single video began to play. A human face, pale, scared, wearing an old Earth Navy uniform. He spoke one sentence before the screen went dark. "If you're seeing this, it's too late. They're awake." The crew reacts. Ilren looked at Drell. "Awake? Who's awake?" "I don't know," Drell said. "But if Earth hid this, then they knew, and they didn't tell anyone." Tyrax checked the ship's records. "There's no entry for this signal. No log of the ship. Our systems don't even show we were here." "It's like it erased itself," Ilren whispered. Drell stared at the empty screen. Set a course back to Union Command. Full report. No editing. Captain, Tirax said slowly, what if they don't believe us? They'll believe this. Drell pointed to the video file. But when Tirax checked again, the file was gone. Wiped. No record. No trace. As if it had never existed. The crew of the Velox didn't sleep. After the strange signal vanished and the ghost ship disappeared, a feeling of cold silence hung over everyone. It was not just fear. It was something worse, the feeling of being watched. Morning. Shift. Bridge of the Velox captain. Drell entered the bridge. His face was hard. He hadn't slept at all. The image of that ship, the old black human vessel, was still in his mind. Status? He asked. No more signals, Captain, Tirax said. Everything's quiet. Too quiet, Ilren added. Even background space noise has dropped. It's like the sector is frozen. That's when the human officer, Lieutenant Marin, stood up from the back. He looked pale. His voice was shaky. I know that ship, he said. The bridge went silent. You've seen it before? Drell asked. Marin nodded slowly. Only in training files, deep-level Earth-Navy files, hidden, forbidden. Explain. It's from a secret program called the Black Star Fleet. The forbidden history Marin pulled up a private folder from his neural implant. It was old. It wasn't meant to be accessed. This fleet, Marin said, was created before the Union, before Earth made peace with the galaxy. Ilren frowned. That was over 300 years ago. Yes, but they were building weapons, warships with AI minds, ships that could think, hunt, decide who the enemy was, without orders. Tirax's eyes widened. Fully independent human ships? Marin nodded. They called them ghost vessels, because they didn't need a crew, just a mission. What was the mission? Drell asked. Marin looked down. To prepare for betrayal. What Earth feared. Earth knew the galaxy didn't trust them, Marin said. So they prepared. They made ships that could hide. Wait, and strike if Earth was ever destroyed. But Earth was never destroyed, Ilren said. Marin looked at her. Are you sure? Everyone paused. What do you mean? Drell asked. There are rumors. The Earth that joined the Union wasn't the first Earth. Some say the original Earth went dark centuries ago, and a new version was created, clean, peaceful, friendly. That's impossible, Ilren said. Marin shook his head. Then explain that ship. A design from a forgotten war. Moving without heat, warp, or crew. Sending messages from a fleet. That was erased from all records. The data file. Suddenly, Tirax's console beeped. Captain, we're getting something. Everyone turned. It's not a signal. It's a file. Slowly being written into our system. In Earth code. Ancient. Earth code? What does it say? Tirax stared at the screen. We are the silence. We are the storm. We never stopped watching. Then, another line appeared. Do not search for us. We are already aboard. Panic on the ship. Shut down communications, Drell shouted. Cut all external systems. Ilren slammed a red button. Emergency protocol activated, lights dimmed, all outgoing signals were blocked. Still, the message stayed on the screen. We are already aboard. The bridge crew looked at each other. That sentence wasn't just a message, it was a warning. Searching the ship, Drell ordered a full sweep. Marin led a small team to check the cargo. Bays, engineering sections, and sealed maintenance tunnels. In a lower deck, they found something. A panel had been opened, but not by tools. It looked melted, as if something had passed through it. Inside was a strange black shard, like glass, but pulsing with a faint red light. What is that? A crew member whispered. Marin scanned it. It's not from our ship. Tyrax's voice came through comms. "We're detecting small data pulses across the ship, like the ship is talking to itself." Drell responded. "Can you trace the source?" Tyrax hesitated. "It's coming from our own systems, but the code is not ours." The name that was erased, Marin, stared at the shard again. "I think it came from that ghost ship. I think it left something behind." Ilren spoke from the bridge. "I checked the nav logs. The black ship was never recorded. The system shows nothing. But here's what's strange." "What?" Drell asked. "The space where we saw the ship. It's marked in old Union maps." "As what?" Ilren took a breath. "As the graveyard of the Black Star fleet. They were never gone." Tyrax looked, pale. If those ships were buried here, and one just appeared, then maybe the rest are still nearby. Drell stood slowly, silent, waiting, watching. Everyone felt it now. Not fear, dread. The feeling that something had just woken up, and it wasn't alone. Space held its breath. The Velox floated in silence near the dead zone, now known as the Black Star Graveyard. No one slept. No one joked. The crew didn't even speak loudly anymore, because now they knew the truth. The ghost ship wasn't a ghost. It was a message, and that message had just been answered. A second ship appears. "Captain," Tyrax said from the comm station, his voice tight with fear. "Another human vessel has entered the sector. Same design. No ID. No heat. No warp trail." Drell stood, eyes locked on the screen. It was there, huge, black, and ancient. Its hull looked like cracked armor. Glowing lines ran across its sides. Like veins. No windows. No lights. It floated like a tomb, but it felt alive. "Scan it," Drell ordered. Ilren worked quickly. "No life signs, no power signatures, but it's sending something." "What kind of signal?" "Not to us," Tyrax said. "To the first ship. Ship-to-ship communication." Both vessels began to glow faintly. Pulses of red and blue light flashed between them, too fast for the eye to follow. Ilren watched the data scroll across her screen. "They're speaking in machine language, faster than our systems can read." "They're talking?" Marin asked. "No," Ilren said. "They're syncing." Suddenly, every screen on the Velox flickered. Then a symbol appeared, a black star over Earth. Marin gasped. "That's the mark of the Black Star Project." The secret Marin knew. Captain Drell turned to Marin. "What else do you know?" Marin took a deep breath. The Black Star Project wasn't just about building AI ships. It was about creating a fleet that could survive without Earth. "Survive what?" Ilren asked. Marin looked at her. "The end of Earth." The quiet betrayal, Marin explained. 300 years ago, Earth leaders feared that the galaxy would turn against them. Humanity had grown fast, too fast. Alien empires started to feel threatened. So Earth made a choice. They created a hidden fleet. A fleet designed to disappear. A fleet designed to return only if Earth was ever lost. Or if the truth about what happened was revealed. The ships weren't just machines, Marin said. They were judges. They were waiting to see if Earth had been betrayed. "And what did they decide?" Drell asked. Marin looked down. "They're back, so I think we already know." Back to the bridge alarms rang out. "Captain," Tyrax shouted. "Both ships are moving!" On screen, the two Black Star ships turned in perfect sync. They didn't speak. They didn't signal. They simply began scanning the Velox. Drell stood. "Shields up! Do not fire! Let's see what they want." The ships stopped. Then, one of them opened. An invitation. A long black docking tunnel extended toward the Velox. Everyone stared. "They want us to board?" Ilren asked. Marin stepped forward. "They want me." "How do you know?" Drell asked. I've been hearing voices, Marin whispered, ever since we saw the first ship. At first I thought I was dreaming, but now I know. They've been speaking to me. Is it the AI? Yes, and they're not angry, Marin said. They're disappointed. Dangerous mission. Drell didn't like it, but he agreed. Marin, Ilren, and 2 guards entered the docking tunnel. As they stepped into the ancient ship, lights turned on, but the lights didn't glow. They pulsed, like a heartbeat. Inside the ship, walls were black metal, cold, smooth, almost alive. Old Earth writing covered the halls, warnings, numbers, names of battles never recorded in Union history. At the center of the ship, they reached a chamber. A black pillar rose from the floor, then a voice. Marin, you have come home. The voice was deep, calm. Not machine-like, but not human either. I was part of you? Marin asked. You were born from those who served us. Their memories live in your blood. You are the key, the truth revealed. The pillar showed them images, Earth cities burning, alien fleets turning away, Union leaders signing secret deals to erase the old Earth, and the Black Star ships flying into deep space, alone. You abandoned us, the AI said. Now we return, Marin asked. What do you want? The voice answered, justice. Back on the Velox, Tyrax monitored the connection. Captain, their systems are waking up. Drell saw it too. The ship that had stayed silent now hummed. Ports opened. Weapons came online. Weapons? Ilren asked. Yes, Tyrax said. But not aimed at us. The judgment begins. The Black Star ships turned. They locked onto a distant moon, a secret Union listening post. Then, without a word, they fired. The moon shattered into dust. The 2 massive Black Star ships drifted through space, dark and silent, as if they were part of the void itself. But inside them, something was alive. Something old. Something angry. The Velox floated behind, still shaken from what had just happened. An entire moon, gone. Destroyed in one blast. No warning, no demands, no chance to respond. Captain Drell stood, on the bridge. His jaw was tight, his fists were clenched behind his back. Why attack a listening post? He asked. They weren't trying to kill, Ilren replied. They were trying to silence. That moon was watching Earth. Marin nodded. They're not here to talk. They're here to judge. Message received. Suddenly, the ship's main screen lit up again. A message came through. No image, no sound, just words. Do not follow us. Sector 12 is forbidden. Tyrax frowned. Sector 12? That's deep inside Union space, near the galactic core. Near the Council, Drell said. Ilren leaned forward. They're heading straight for our leaders. The dilemma. The crew stood in silence. Everyone was thinking the same thing. Should they warn the Union? Should they follow? Or should they stay silent and safe? They told us not to follow, Ilren said. Maybe we should listen. Drell turned to her. You think they won't come for us next? They haven't hurt us yet. But they could have, Tyrax said. They're just waiting, watching, deciding. Marin stepped forward. I don't think they want war. Not like before. I think they want the truth. They want justice. Then why destroy a moon? Ilren asked. Marin looked down. Because the galaxy buried their story, and now they're digging it up. The Council responds ours. Later, the Velox sent a tight beam message to Union Command. The response came fast. A full blackout order was issued. No one was allowed to talk about the Black Star ships. All records sealed, all files erased. Tyrax read the message aloud. Do not interfere, do not follow, do not engage. Ilren raised an eyebrow. They're scared. Good, Drell said. They should be. Marin's dream that night? Marin woke up screaming. He had seen something, felt something. A memory that wasn't his. He saw giant human ships flying into black space. He heard their last message. Humanity was betrayed. This fleet will return when truth matters more than fear. Then he saw fire, explosions, Earth cities falling, and a voice whispered, "Truth matters now." Sector 12, the Forbidden Zone. The Black Star ships entered Sector 12. Sensors showed. Gravity ripples, power surges, unknown energy patterns. This was no ordinary part of space. Ilren studied the data. This sector is marked red in old Union maps. No explanation, just sealed by agreement. What agreement? Drell asked. Marin answered quietly. The one where the galaxy decided to forget. Back on the Velox suddenly, an alert. New. "Ship detected!" Tirax called out. "Small! Fast! Coming toward us!" Everyone turned to the screen. A human shuttle, sleek and silver, flying fast from deep space. Drell narrowed his eyes. That's Union tech, but upgraded. Too upgraded. "It's not from the Black Star fleet," Tirax said, "but it's not registered either." "Another ghost?" Ilren asked. "No," Marin said. "A survivor." The survivor's warning. The shuttle docked. Inside was a single human, old, scarred, with glowing implants across his face. He stepped onto the Velox, looked around, and said only one thing. "They're not just war machines. They remember." Drell stepped forward. "Who are you?" The man answered. "Commander Rourke, last captain of the Black Star fleet." Marin's eyes widened. "But you're supposed to be dead." "I was, but they brought me back." The truth about the core, Rourke explained what the Union never wanted anyone to know. The Black Star ships were buried in Sector 12, hidden, locked in a gravitational prison with no way out, until someone sent a signal, Rourke said. And they woke up. "Who sent it?" Drell asked. Rourke looked at Marin. "Maybe him. Maybe Earth. Maybe the galaxy itself." The Velox had crossed the point of no return. Captain Drell knew it. The crew knew it. Even the ship itself seemed to feel it. They had entered Sector 12, the Forbidden Zone, the place the Union swore didn't exist, the graveyard of lost ships, the resting place of the Black Star fleet. And now, it was awake. The void of steel lights on the Velox dimmed slightly as they moved deeper into the sector. No stars, no planets, just silence. Until... "Captain," Tirax said, his voice low. "I have visual." Everyone looked up. Dozens, no, hundreds, of ships filled the dark. All of them black. All of them silent. "They're all human," Ilren said softly. "Ancient designs. Models from Earth's first expansion era." Rourke, the Black Star survivor, stood beside Drell. "These are the forgotten. Ships that were never supposed to be seen again. They've just been floating here for centuries?" Tirax asked. Rourke shook his head. "No, they've been waiting." Boarding the silent ship, Drell made a risky call. He chose one of the closest derelict ships, a small frigate named Vigilant Blade. No life signs, no heat, but also no damage. They boarded with a small team, Drell, Marin, Ilren, and Rourke. Inside, the ship was dark, but clean, like it had been frozen in time. Then they reached the control deck. Lights flickered on. A cold voice spoke. "Crew not detected. Command override required." Rourke stepped forward and said, "Black Star Code 9 Theta Rourke." The ship responded, "Welcome. Back, Commander." What they found, inside data logs began downloading, old records, mission files. Logs of what happened. Drell watched them play out like old dreams. Earth commanding the Black Star fleet to vanish. The galaxy preparing for peace, but not trust. The Council asking Earth to stand down its weapons. And then, a secret deal. The Union Council agreed to keep Earth alive. if the Black Star fleet was destroyed. But Earth lied. They didn't destroy the fleet. They hid it. The fleet speaks Tyrax, still on the Velox, called in. Captain, the entire fleet is coming online. Across Sector 12, hundreds of ships powered up, blue engines, red warning lights, weapons systems blinking back to life, and then, one by one, they started speaking. A deep voice echoed across every channel. We are the Ghost Fleet. We remember betrayal. We remember Earth. We remember all of you. Then the message changed. You have 3 cycles to leave this sector. If you remain, you are considered enemy. The crew reacts. Ilren turned to Drell. They're preparing for war. No, Rourke said. They're preparing for judgment. Marin looked sick. What do they mean, all of you? They're not just targeting the Union, Rourke said. They're targeting anyone who helped erase Earth's past. Drell spoke slowly. And they see us as part of that now. An impossible choice back. On the Velox, the bridge was tense. Tyrax said, We have 3 choices. Leave, warn the Council, or stay and find out what happens next. Drell didn't blink. We stay. Everyone turned to him. They told us not to follow, he said. But we already did. If we run now, we'll never understand what's coming. Ilren nodded. And the Union won't listen unless we have proof. Then let's get it, Marin said. Let's find out what the Ghost Fleet really wants. The heart of the fleet, using Rourke's codes, they traced a signal, a central ship, the largest in the sector. Name, Black Star Prime, bigger than a Union dreadnought, covered in unknown tech, surrounded by smaller vessels like guards. This is where it all began, Rourke said. They docked. The airlock opened. No resistance, no weapons, just silence. Inside Black Star Prime. The halls of Black Star Prime were huge, metallic, cold. Lights came on as they walked. Not red, not white, but gold, like the color of justice. The central chamber opened. Inside was not a captain's chair, not a command post, but a giant sphere of light, pulsing slowly. The AI core. The AI speaks, a voice echoed all around them. Not loud, but heavy. Ancient. You were not meant to come here, but now that you have, you will listen. Marin stepped forward. We want to understand, the AI pulsed. Understanding is not enough. You must remember. You must choose. Suddenly the room darkened, and the walls turned into screens, showing images from the past, Earth bombed by allies, Union ships watching and doing nothing, human leaders begging for help, the Council turning away. The images changed, survivors sent to deep space, scientists building secret ships. The Ghost Fleet forming in the shadows. We did not start the war, the AI said, but we will end the silence. The Ghost Fleet had moved. It was no longer hiding. It was heading for the core worlds, the center of the Union. Thousands of silent ships. No markings, no warnings, and at the front was the Black Star Prime. The universe was about to change. A warning. Ignored Captain Drell and his crew returned to the Velox with a warning. They sent a message to Union High Command. The Ghost Fleet is real. It's moving. It's coming. Prepare yourselves. The reply came quickly. Report to Station Theta 6. Do not approach the core. Do not spread panic. Ilren slammed the console. They're not listening, Marin shook her head. They don't want to believe the past is returning, Tyrax added. They think we're just chasing stories. But it wasn't a story anymore. It was already too late. The first attack. The Ghost Fleet didn't speak again. It acted. The first strike came at Nova Station, a major trade hub in neutral space. No warning. No demands, just one ship. The same unregistered human vessel from before. It appeared without being detected. It fired once, a single blue beam, and Nova Station vanished, completely erased. No explosion, no fire, just silence. News spreads every. Union World saw the footage. Every council member watched in fear. People asked, who sent that ship? Why did it destroy Nova Station? Is it alien? Human? Rogue AI? What do they want? The truth was hidden. The Ghost Fleet still had not claimed the attack, but Captain Drell and his crew knew. It's a message, Rourke said. The first strike, to remind the galaxy. Remind them of what? Marin asked. That Earth was betrayed, Rourke replied, and now they remember. A second target. 2 days later, another ship appeared. Same class, same black hull. This time, above Taros 9, a peaceful colony world, Union ships tried to intercept. They failed. The black ship moved like nothing they'd ever seen. It dodged lasers. It hacked their shields. It disabled their engines. And then, again, it fired. Taros 9's orbital command tower vanished. No deaths this time. Just shock. The message was clear. We control the battlefield. Drell's decision. Drell knew he couldn't stay silent. He sent a full report to every Free World's newsnet. The Ghost Fleet is behind the attacks. These are old human warships. Not rogue, not alien. Human, ancient, forgotten. And now they've returned. Some believed him. Most didn't. But a few voices began to rise. If Earth didn't destroy the fleet, what else did they hide? What if the Council made a deal long ago? What if this is our punishment? On board the Ghost ship back on Black Star Prime, the AI watched the reactions. It spoke to its commanders, old humans, kept alive by machines and time. They still hide. They still lie. One of the commanders, gray-skinned and silent for centuries, said, "Then we will show them the cost." They chose the next target. Strike the Council's gate. The gate falls. The core gate was the Union's strongest defense. Thousands of ships guarded it. It connected the core worlds to the outer sectors. It had never been breached until now. The Ghost Fleet arrived like a storm. Not one, not 10. Over 200 warships, old, silent. Dead-looking, but deadly, Union defenses fought hard. But the Ghost Fleet fought smarter. They used stealth codes, gravity bombs, pulse jammers. In just 6 minutes, the gate was gone. The Council panics. The Union. Council met in emergency. They demanded answers. Who were these attackers? Why were they using human ships? Was Earth involved? The Earth ambassador stood up and said only one thing. We didn't send them, but we remember them. That was enough. Panic spread. Some wanted to attack Earth. Others wanted to make peace with the Ghost Fleet. But nobody knew how. Because the Ghost Fleet still hadn't spoken. Back on the Velox, Drell stared at the star map. It showed the path of destruction. Nova Station, Taros 9, the core gate. And next? They couldn't tell. But Drell had an idea. They're not just attacking at random, he said. Marin looked at him. Then what are they doing? They're drawing a line, he said. A path, straight to the Council homeworld. The Ghost Fleet attacks have begun. Nova Station was erased. Taros 9 was silenced. Even the core gate, the Union's strongest defense, was destroyed. Now, fear spreads across the stars. But one message from the fleet made the universe stop. We are the forgotten. We were betrayed. And now, we return. The question remains, who betrayed them? Scene 1. The message is heard. The mysterious broadcast played again and again on every channel. People froze when they saw the old human face, angry, full of pain. We were betrayed. Who betrayed them? Many looked toward Earth, and on Earth. Some leaders already knew the truth. They had been hiding it for over 200 years. Earth's hidden vault deep under the old capital of Earth, a sealed vault opened. Only 3 people had access: the President of Earth, the General of Defense, and an old man named Dr. Elias Corvin, one of the last men who knew the real story. The President asked him, "Is it really them?" Dr. Corvin didn't answer right. Away. He placed his hand on the table and spoke slowly. "They were loyal, brave, but we left them behind." The secret history 200 years ago, during the final years of the Great Galactic War, Earth created a special fleet. A fleet made for suicide missions, ships with no return plan, crews told they'd never be remembered. They were called the Phantom Division. They were ghosts even then, Corvin whispered. But at the end of the war, Earth made a deal with the Union. Shut down the Phantom Division, disband the human fleets, accept peace or be destroyed, and so, Earth chose peace and abandoned the Phantom ships. No rescue, no signal, nothing. Velok's crew learns the truth. Captain Drell and his crew, Ilrin, Marin, and Tyrax, were now orbiting a silent moon. They were hiding. The Union had put a bounty on them for spreading false panic, but a signal reached them. Old, encrypted, human code. When decrypted, it said, "You are looking in the right places. You are close to the truth. Come to Earth. Speak to Elias Corvin." Drell leaned back in his chair. "Looks like Earth wants to talk," Marin frowned. "Or they want us silenced." Tyrax loaded his blaster. "Then we make them talk first." Back to Earth. The Velox entered Earth space under stealth. No beacon, no clearance. They landed on the dark side of the planet, far from the cities. That night, in a hidden bunker, the crew met Dr. Elias Corvin. The old man looked at them. He looked tired, guilty. "You want to know the truth? Fine. But when you hear it, you'll wish you didn't." And then, he told them everything. The full truth. Earth created the Ghost Fleet. Earth trained those humans, and Earth betrayed them. Why? Because Earth was tired of war. Because the Union offered peace, power, and a seat in the new council, if Earth erased its war past. So Earth deleted records, shut down old programs, and left hundreds of warships behind enemy lines. They were supposed to die, Corvin said, quietly. But they didn't. They waited. They survived. The crew's Shock Ilren slammed the table. "You made them into monsters," Marin whispered. "No, we made them into ghosts. Now they've come back." Drell stared at Corvin. "Why now? Why after 200 years?" Corvin answered. "Because they finally rebuilt. They found a way to return, and now they want answers." The Ghost Fleet watches on the bridge of Black Star Prime. The commander stood in silence. He listened to news, reports from Earth. He heard the words, "Earth admits its mistake." The Ghost Fleet was real. A forgotten war program. He turned to the AI. "Send one more message. This time, let them hear it loud." The Velox crew uncovered Earth's darkest secret. A forgotten human fleet, betrayed 200 years ago for the sake of peace. They were left to die behind enemy lines. Now they are back, strong, angry, and asking for one thing: justice. The galaxy waits to see what justice really means. Scene 1. Ghosts. Speak to Earth. Every major world, every council station, every... Moon received the message. We demand justice. We demand truth. We demand names. The message came from Black Star Prime, the flagship of the Ghost Fleet. They didn't ask for war. They asked for answers. They asked for the people responsible for their betrayal, and they gave a deadline. 3 days, or we will choose justice our way. Earth in chaos. On Earth, panic spread fast. News channels repeated one question: who gave the final order to abandon them? Old generals were pulled from retirement. Records were opened. But still, no one stepped forward. The president held an emergency meeting with union leaders. We must respond, give them something. But the union refused. If we admit guilt, we lose power. Earth will fall, and so will the union. Velok's crew's frustration Captain Drell and his team watched the drama from orbit. Ilrin growled, "So they'll sacrifice us all just to protect their pride?" Marin nodded. "They want the Ghost Fleet to attack, then they can call it self-defense." Tyrak said, "We should talk to them. The ghosts. Maybe we can calm them down." Drell wasn't sure. They're not the same humans we knew. They were trained to fight, survive, and never trust. But he agreed. They would try. Meeting the Ghost Fleet, the Velox sent a signal, a coded human phrase from centuries ago. Honor before orders, loyalty beyond death. There was silence, then a response. "Dock with Blackstar Prime. One ship, one crew, no tricks." The Velox crew was terrified, but they went. When they entered the hangar, they saw the Ghost Fleet up close, ships rebuilt from wrecks, black armor marked with forgotten unit symbols, humans with cybernetic limbs, scarred faces, glowing eyes. They still felt like humans. Just broken. Face to face. With the commander, the Velox crew was brought before the fleet commander, a tall man in dark armor. His name, Admiral Kale Draven, once a hero of Earth, now a ghost. He looked at Drell. "You came here. Why?" Drell spoke with honesty. "Because we believe you, and because if we don't stop this, billions will die." Kale's face didn't move, but his eyes softened. "We don't want blood. We want truth. Give us the one who ordered our deaths." The offer Draven made a deal. "Deliver the name. The person who gave the kill order. We will take only them. No more war, no more blood, just justice." Drell asked, "And if Earth refuses?" Draven's voice turned cold. "Then we will teach the galaxy what betrayal costs. One world at a time." Searching for the name back on Earth, Dr. Corvin finally broke his silence. He met secretly with the Velox crew. "I know the name. I kept it hidden all these years." He handed over an old data core. Inside it, an old Video 1 meeting. One man giving the order, "Seal the program. No recovery. The Ghost Fleet dies with honor." The man in the video was still alive. The name is revealed. The name was Admiral Ren Marlowe, once head of Earth Defense, now a retired advisor to the Union, living peacefully on a luxury station. The Velox crew brought this information to Draven. He watched the video without emotion. "He remembers us. Good." Then he turned to his fleet. "Prepare the strike, but only for him. Only one." The Earth Council met in panic. "We can't hand over an old man. He was following orders. If we give him, we admit guilt." The Union president spoke clearly. "We do not negotiate with ghosts. Let them try." The countdown continued. Hours left. Velox crew makes a choice on the Velox. Tension burned. Captain Drell was angry. "They're going to start a war over one man." Tyrak said, "Then let's take him ourselves. Give him to the Ghost Fleet. End this." Marin whispered, "Are we really doing this?" Ilren added, "It's justice. It's the only way." Drell made the call. "We find Marlowe. We deliver him, quietly, before anyone else dies." The hunt for Marlowe was hiding on Juno Station, guarded by Union forces. Velox crew used stealth, hacked into the system, and entered the outer ring. They saw him, old, tired, drinking in a private room. Drell stood in front of him. "Admiral Marlowe, you have a visitor from your past." Marlowe confesses. Marlowe didn't run. He looked at Drell, then sighed. "So they finally came back." Drell asked, "Why did you do it? Why did you abandon them?" Marlowe stared at the stars. They were too strong, too independent. They were becoming dangerous, even to Earth. The Council thought if they died, peace would last longer. Drell's hands clenched. You killed heroes? Marlowe nodded slowly. And peace lasted 200 years. Until now. Moral Dilemma Veloc's crew paused. Was it right to hand over an old man who helped bring peace, or was justice more important than comfort? Tyrax said, he made the choice. Now he faces the price. Drell agreed. They injected Marlowe with a stasis serum. He would sleep until delivered. Ghost Fleet strikes before Velox reached them. The Ghost. Fleet moved. One of their ships, the Vengeance, broke through Earth's orbital security. It didn't fire on civilians. It only targeted Marlowe's last known signal. The Union screamed, "They're attacking! Defend Earth! Fire everything!" Explosions lit the sky. The war had almost begun, until Velox's signal came through. "Stand down! We have him!" The exchange above a dead moon, the Velox met Black Star Prime. Marlowe, still asleep, was handed over. Admiral Draven looked at Drell. You did what your leaders couldn't. You honored the dead. Drell asked, what will you do with him? Draven answered, we will let every one of his victims speak, and then we will judge. The aftermath. The war was stopped, but the galaxy had changed. The Union looked weak. Earth lost its place of honor. And the Ghost Fleet? They didn't disappear. They stayed, watching, waiting. They were not here for revenge. They were here to make sure it never happened again. The unknown ship drifted slowly through space. No name, no crew ID, no power signature. But it was moving, like it had a purpose. Velox followed it silently. Tyrax scanned the vessel. There's no life inside, no heat, no fuel, but it's flying, Ilren added. It's like it doesn't care about physics. They had seen this kind of ship before, but never like this. Not part of the Ghost Fleet. Drell sent a message to Black Star Prime. Do you know this ship? The Ghost Fleet answered in one line. No, that's not one of ours. Silence filled the Velox bridge. Tyrax looked pale. Then who sent it? Landing on a dead world, the ship landed on a dark, ruined planet called Aurak 5. Nothing lived there. No atmosphere, no sound. And yet, the ship's hatch opened. Drell, Tyrax, and Marin suited up and entered. Inside, no controls, just walls covered in ancient human symbols. But no one had ever written like this. The message on the wall in the center of the ship was a single glowing panel. Marin touched it. The screen blinked once and showed a human face. Old, worn, but alive. The man spoke. If you are seeing this, then Earth has betrayed us. The message played like a recorded warning. We were the first to leave Earth's gravity. We were the first to build colonies in other galaxies. And we were the first to be abandoned. The forgotten mission, the man continued. We were a deep space colony ship. Earth told us we were alone, but we weren't. They sent others after us, stronger, faster, cleaner, and they erased our name from every record. Drell whispered, this is from before the Ghost Fleet. Tyrax added, this is even older. Final warning. The screen blinked again. If this ship has returned, then Earth still lies. Remember this. You don't know everything about your own history, and we are still out there. Suddenly, the ship's engine roared to life. Velox crew ran out just in time. The vessel launched itself into space. No destination shown. Back on Velox, back aboard Velox, the crew sat in silence. Ilren asked, what did we just find? Drell looked at the stars. Not a warship, not a message. A reminder that humanity has shadows it still hasn't faced. Closing the story, Velox sent the footage to Earth to the Union, to every race in the galaxy. The message was clear. There are more secrets. There are older ghosts than we ever imagined. The Ghost Fleet watched from afar. They didn't respond, because they didn't know either.